So animal welfare is something that I feel super important and I stress pretty heavily on our farm. But what's the dairy industry doing as a whole to improve animal welfare? We can do better, and I'm gonna make it happen. So Dairy Farmers of Canada is implementing a program called ProAction. And basically what ProAction is proof of how dairy farmers are farming in a responsible way. And there's 6 different modules of ProAction, and they're not all 100% implemented yet. I think, well, all but one are implemented already. And basically what it is there's a third party, we have inspections done, and we have to do lots of record keeping just to give proof of the quality, not just assume that dairy farmers are doing a good job, but that's so that we can actually prove it. So if we go to the actual website of Dairy Farmers of Canada, so dairyfarmers.ca/proaction, it gives a little blurb about what the program is all about. So here we got milk quality, so basically that's a SMAC cell count, which is also a measure of the white blood cells in the milk, which has a lot to do with basically measuring mastitis. But the SMAC cell count also impacts later on how you can process the milk. It doesn't make really good cheese with this high SMAC cell count, and also like bacteria levels in the milk. And then food safety, we record basically wash temperatures and milk storage temperatures, and that's all proven through like record keeping, and the milk truck driver actually downloads that information, make sure the quality is there for every pickup. And animal care, which I'll talk about in a minute, and then there's traceability, so basically all the milk and every animal can be traced back to our farm, which I can then pull up the records to figure out what happened with that animal. Biosecurity, basically to minimize disease pressures and transfers between farms. And then the environmental module, which is the one that's not 100% implemented yet. Basically to show that dairy farmers are doing everything they can to have or to minimize the impact on the environment. So animal care, that's the one I want to talk about. And basically we had somebody come to the farm, and then they walk through our herd and score the cows on several different things just to measure the quality of life of these animals. And then they printed off a report. And this here is basically the report that we got. And they classified all the farmers either in the green zone, the yellow, or the red zone. The green zone being basically the top 25% of the herds in Ontario. The yellow zone is like the middle 50% of herds in Ontario, and red is the bottom 25% of herds in Ontario. And they're scored for body condition, so basically how much fat they have on them, hock injuries, knee injuries, neck injuries, and just lameness, which is basically measured by how well they walk. And then, so this person came to the farm, and then they scored basically a random subset of our herd for all these different areas, and then told us where we were within Ontario as far as how well we did on that particular score. So as you can see, we got check marks. All these scores were in the top 25% of herds. So we were in good shape. But if a farmer scores in the bottom 25% of herds in Ontario, they're in the red zone. And what happens is you get 3 warnings or 3 chances to improve on that score. And then if you fail to do that, then you'll start getting fined, and eventually it will no longer pick up your milk. So I must say I'm pretty proud of Dairy Farmers of Canada and for basically having such a strong plan in place for basically weeding out the farmers who don't take good care of their animals. So I think it'll be pretty effective. The only thing that it doesn't measure or improve on is basically innovations towards new ways of improving animal care. And I guess that's more what individuals, farmers can do.
We also cleaned out the pack in our heifer barn this past week. This is it after we're all done. We filled it all up with chopped bean straw. And then we have to reinsert all the posts so that we can put the dividers in between the pens. And then this is what it looks like when it's all done. As a bit of a reference, this is a video that we took earlier, and if you take a look at the packs at the back, they're much higher, and the dividers too, they're sitting way on top there. So after we were done with the heifer barn, we moved on to the dry cow pack in the main dairy barn. This barn is much bigger, so we're able to fit the Schaefer in here, which is much quicker for loading. And the manure spreader was able to fit right in the barn too. And the nice thing about our barn layout is that our cows actually have access to freestalls while they're waiting for us to finish cleaning out the pack. And then just like the heifer barn, when we're done, we gotta fill up the pack again with straw. This is our straw chopper. Chops up all the straw, makes it nice and fine, does a way better job than just shaking bales loose. So if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or share with a friend. And if you want to hear more about animal welfare or what we're up to, don't forget to subscribe.